Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. You don't know, my name's Chad, and we take a dive into the world of sports. This is my NFL Week 10 pick and preview video. But before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank all my brothers and sisters who have signed the dotted line, raised their right hand, and served their country honorably and protecting all the freedoms that we enjoy. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start off with tonight's kickoff of the NFL Week 10 here on Veterans Day, and we'll have Baltimore visit Miami. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter who's going to start for Miami. Right now, it's still up in the air if Tua's going to start. He still has a finger injury. So Jacoby Brissett will be the starter if he can't go. I think it's going to be more of a game time decision, and it don't matter. You can't go against Action Jackson. He leads the team in passing and rushing. Kind of look about the same. I believe Sammy Watkins should be back for Baltimore, so they really should help him out. But that Ravens D is just going to stifle Miami. And Louis Riddick said the best on Get Up this morning. He's looking for the Ravens D to make a statement and shut out Miami. And that will be epic, because I think right now Baltimore is... They look like the premier team in the AFC right now. Even though the AFC is very tight and only two teams in the AFC have two losses. That's, the Ravens and Titans. But right now, I think everything to lean towards Baltimore being the number one team. And we'll kind of see how things play out. But definitely we're looking for a big win by Baltimore. Now heading into Sunday. And speaking of the Titans, they're hosting the New Orleans Saints. And this is a team that continues to baffle me. Every time I pick against them, they win, and when I pick them, they lose. It's one of these teams that I just can't wrap around. That defense is all over the place. They play extremely well, but last week against Atlanta and against Matt Ryan, they just could not stop him from throwing, and he ended up leading a game-winning drive that cost him the loss. Now they go into Nashville, take on another quality quarterback in Tannehill, another quality defense. This defense is very opportunistic. And Kamara right now is questionable. So you're going to take your very multifaceted Swiss Army knife and Alvin Kamara. So I am going to lean on the Titans defense to corral the Saints and have the Titans able to win in Nashville. Then we go with Buffalo and the New York Jets. Right now, White is scheduled to start as Wilson's still nursing his injury. So we'll see how this one goes, but the Bills need to get back on form. That game in Jacksonville was an embarrassment for them. They need to find a way to get back on track to, hamper, get back on the winning ways and stampede through the AFC East, and I think the Jets is the perfect team to do that against. I see them coming back in form, and I see them pounding the Jets into the ground as they win. Detroit and Pittsburgh. And Detroit's one of these teams I've been trying to give them their first win, and they keep letting me down. And I'm to the point now, I'm going to say Lions are going to lose every single game, and this is going to be no exception. The Steelers are just too talented on defense. T.J. Watt is going to be in the backfield a lot. He had 3 sacks against the Bears. He shouldn't find it that easy against Detroit, but he'll definitely get up there. Probably he'll at least get a sack against Jared Goff. But Goff should make it look interesting. But Steelers are still coming on top. And then Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Jacksonville coming off of their emotional win against the Buffalo Bills. Now have to go travel to Indy to take on Carson Wentz. And that Jags D is alive, led by Josh Allen. And I have a feeling they will make life a little difficult for Wentz and Taylor. But I believe these two will find a way to get the Jags back, back in their cages, get them back down to earth, and Wentz should be able to put them away and have the Colts win. Then Tampa Bay is heading to the nation's capital to take on Washington. And, Washington has not lived up to the hype this year at all. I have given up on them because I thought they would be the repeats divisional champions. Right now, Dallas is looking too good despite their, embarrassment last week. And this should be no same. I think it's going to be close in the beginning. But after that, TB's going to take over. It's just going to be Tom Brady having fun. And Tampa Bay should win easily in D.C. And then I think one that the marquee game of the week, it'd be Cleveland at New England. This is going to be epic. As Cleveland just came out firing against Cincinnati without OBJ. They just pounced all over the Bengals. The Patriots are running right now. Mac and Cheese is performing very elite quarterback, or becoming an elite quarterback. The defense is being stout and stagnant and opportunistic. Questionable behavior by Mac Jones against a defensive player. Applying an ankle lock. And everyone's giving it to New England, and I can see why. Belichick's got this team rolling. They're going the right direction. This is also a very similar team that Cleveland always struggles against and always seems to find a way to lose. I am going to buck the trend. I'm going to say Cleveland's going to find a way to knock off the Patriots at home. Now I'm probably going way too out of limbs. Probably going to be an L for me, but I'm going to take the Browns in this one. Then Atlanta and Dallas. Dallas has got to come back from the embarrassment they suffered against the Broncos. I don't see the Atlanta defense doing the same things Denver's defense did. But Quinn is familiar with Matt Ryan, so you have that aspect on the Dallas defense. And Ryan should be able to make some decent gains and give the Cowboys defense some fits, but it's too much of Dak, Zeke, CD, Amari. That Cowboys offense is just loaded. As long as Dak can stay upright, Cowboys should be able to beat the Falcons and avoid them from kicking a last second field goal to win. But yeah, Cowboys in the victory. Then you get the Panthers visiting the Cardinals. Panthers right now are just a team that is a Jekyll and Hyde. They look like a very good team, and all of a sudden they just switch and they just fall apart. The Cardinals right now, doesn't matter who's starting, who's playing. They had that one hiccup against Green Bay where Murray and A.J. Green were on the same page, where A.J. Green's controller was disconnected and then picking off right at the end of the game. And that was pretty much the only mistake thus far overall that the Cardinals have had this season. So I expect the Cardinals to continue against Carolina, continue on their decimation tour to NFL, and it's not going to be pretty out there in Glendale. Cardinals win big. Minnesota will take on the Chargers, and my lord, these two teams right now, once again, once it with the NFL this year, they got so many teams that are very hard to kind of figure out who's where in the pecking order, because teams just flip-flop whatsoever. You pick them to win and they lose, but you pick them to lose and they win. It's just... But Minnesota's one of these teams that continues to be very good against tough opponents. And the Chargers is definitely one of those teams that are very tough opponents, going to be tough out. The Vikings going to give it to them. This is another team that LA seems to struggle against, because their defenses seem to hold up, but it's like they go blow for blow. And I am going to go Herbert over Cousins in the nail biter, and the Chargers win. And then Seattle visiting Green Bay. Who's going to start for quarterback? For either team, really. Wilson has started to practice now because he's actually cleared, got the pin out, and he's actually doing what he needs to do, start playing. So right now he could start. And then you also on the other side of Green Bay, as Aaron Rodgers could be back to the team back on Saturday after his positive test, and sitting out because he's unvaccinated, regardless of his own stance. He's unvaccinated. he misled everyone, and he knew it. No doubt about it. You can tell even his Mark Alec apology. He doesn't care. There's the NFL. The NFL barely punished Green Bay nor the Aaron Rodgers. NFL wants him back. Green Bay wants him back. So it's. I'll kind of leave it there because I go on and on about how Aaron Rodgers shouldn't play on Sunday. Period. Dot. This should be, a game where Green Bay goes, you know what? You misled us. You lied to us. You put us in a bad spot. You're not starting this week. But knowing them, he's going to start. But regardless who's going to start, right now the Green Bay's defense is enough to stifle Seattle. Jordan Love showed some progress against Kansas City's defense, especially towards the end. And there's just too many weapons on Green Bay to stop, and I'm going to have the Packers beating Seattle. Philly and Denver. Oh, my Lord. These two teams right here. It is hard to really, once again, kind of pinpoint how these teams are going to perform. Philly has always performed. He's always stepped up in games and made themselves the games appear closer. Sometimes they're what they really seem to be. And last week, it was a heartbreaker for them. I thought they were able to knock off the Chargers, but the Chargers ended up escaping at the end. Denver's defense came alive in Big D. And they've kind of, really corralled a lot of teams. They haven't really let games get way out in front of them. It's just the offense that doesn't quite perform as they should. So it's one of these things, how do we look at this? Because right now Denver's favored by 2.5. And it's one of these. It could go either way, but I am going to pick Philadelphia to knock off the Broncos in Mile High. All right, now we head out to the bright lights at the Las Vegas Strip as the Raiders will play host to the Chiefs in a key matchup in the AFC West. As that West is getting closer, and it's kind of a bottleneck of who is going to be on top, because right now it's anyone's division. And right now they got the Chiefs favorite 2.5. That's because the Raiders had a couple of receivers they had to let go. Only first round picks, no longer on the team due to other off field incidents. And it's just, but that Raiders defense, I can't overlook that. The Chiefs have not been themselves this year. Definitely, Mahomes, I don't know, he's trying to force things. He's not there. Receivers are not as sure-handed as they once were. They're not making the catches, making balls pop up. Kelsey's been has dropped a lot of key passes. Tyreek Hill's trying to do what he can. He doesn't have a lot of large receiving because teams are taking away the deep threat and keeping everything in front of them, and that's something Kansas City's not used to. And so they got to try. I think they need to develop more of that type of attack. Take what the defenses give you and work from there. But that Chiefs defense is still, like I said, it's still Swiss cheese. Derek Carr is good enough to be able to pick apart that defense because they weren't that good against Green Bay. It's just Love was his first start, so he was trying to learn the ropes. So Green Bay made the Chiefs defense look really good. They're not that good. I am going to give this one to the Raiders, beating their division rival, and put the Chiefs back to 500 and put them, a couple games out of the divisional race. And then Monday night, a West Coast showdown. The Los Angeles Rams will take on the San Francisco 49ers out there in Santa Clara. Right now, the Rams are favored by 4, and some things you kind of look at. The 49ers have not lived up to expectations. I expect the 49ers probably to be about 5-3, and so they're 3-5. So they're definitely not doing what they need to do. Jimmy G has been injured. Trey Lance has kind of showed up, but they didn't really perform that well. It's just right now there's something that 49ers team needs, that identity. They need that individual to take charge and lead this team. And right now, Jimmy G's not doing it, even though he's putting up spectacular numbers. And the Rams need to come back from their embarrassment at home to the Titans, where, the Titans were able to fool Stafford in their coverage and picked them off a couple times. So it doesn't win things, but there's too much LA Rams. You can still have Von Miller still hasn't played yet for the Rams since, being traded over. And if he starts, that's it. That Rams defense is going to be on point. And I foresee this one to be a big win for the Rams to keep pace with Arizona for that NFC West divisional title. Well, those are my picks. Last week we were 7 for 7. I think a lot of people didn't see a lot of these games going the way they did, especially the Jacksonville. Ooh, saw that one coming. But, it seems to be the NFL. Any given Sunday, anyone can win. And this is the time of year where the races start to get a little tighter because as teams who are used to winning starting to lose a little bit of that steam. Those are losing or finding that edge, that spark to start winning. And then so majority of the league will start doing this, getting that nice big thick sandwich where you got your premier teams always sitting on top, barely stumble. The ones on the bottom, you could barely win, and Lions. So it just happened to be, and I'm looking to see if I could get a little bit better at that 7-7 mark I did last week. That was kind of a huge letdown for me. Better than my 7-9 I did, earlier in the season. But anyways, hey, let me know what you think, which games you're looking forward to. So there's a lot of big matchups, including, that Monday Night Showdown in the West Coast. Sunday Night Showdown from the AFC West teams. I'm really looking forward to this Browns-Patriots game. This should be a really good one to really watch and see these two quarterbacks go at it. Now the veteran Baker Mayfield and the rookie Mac Jones, how these two defenses will step up against each other and who will come on top. And let me know down below which game you're looking forward to, which pick you think I completely way off on. Like I said, I did pick Cleveland. While you're there, go ahead and smash that thumbs up for me. Give me a like. You can also subscribe. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I will get the recap video for this week back on Tuesday after Monday Night Football. And I'll see you again on Chat Sports Talk.